Oh, yeah. There, it's picking up.
Is it picking up?
doing it? We're here a little early just to double check. So hi. I'm also speaking quietly. If you can hear us and see
Yeah.
us and everything's working, let us know.
Yeah.
We'll still wait a few minutes to get started, but
Let us know for sure. I need to pull up YouTube and. No, we don't. They'll let us know.
okay.
We just don't know how many people are on, or maybe we will. I don't know if we know if they're here. Just need to turn that music on. Or wait,
Is it
is the
not?
music
No,
on?
the music should be on. That's the music. Having a
It's
trust
so we
weekend.
don't get. It's yeah. So we don't get a copyright strike.
I guess it's also so we don't have or other anybody else watch this other than
Oh,
people in the
I
class.
not hear any of that music. That's loud.
Okay, that seems better. I think that would be good. Jared, you did it! Watching ourselves.
Is our audio sound okay? We can't tell from this phone we're on.
Okay, I think that that's
We're getting
okay.
feedback, I think.
Okay, Ryan says all good. Okay, cool. If we need to be louder or talk louder or the music's too loud or too quiet
Yeah, let us
or
know.
too loud, let us know. Mark said, I hear you so well. Good. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, do the. Oh, jeez. That could have been really bad.
Okay.
Okay, do the logo. Just cause. Ooh.
Who are
Is
we?
that kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of hanging out. It's fine. Do you want to move it? Do you know how to do that quickly?
Click on it.
Double click on it?
Mm,
Okay. Look, it's right there too.
yeah, but I was trying to make it cool.
It
Um,
is cool.
Can you click on the logo with the logo here and see what it does? Click on that. There you go. Now drag it down.
Oh God. Oh God.
That just made it bigger.
Oh God.
That did it.
Was that good? Are you
Ooh,
happy
yeah,
with that?
perfect. Perfect.
Okay, thank God. Can I just click somewhere else?
Click on.
Oops. Or unclick logo?
Click there and see what happens. There.
Okay.
And then. Okay, I think that's good.
I think it's as good as it's gonna get. Which is perfect.
Yes.
Something sticky on here from last class.
I'll take it home and wash it this time.
Well, 7:31. I forgot to look at how many people were here. We can wait one more minute. We're gonna wait one more minute.
Yeah.
Hi guys. I guess I can talk. I've been whispering because I was afraid the mic mics were on the whole time when they were off, and I was like, what if they can hear everything we're saying? And now I need to talk like a normal person. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Actually, if we whispered, more people would watch.
We should do ASMR. Oh my God, should that just be the theme of the next class?
Us whispering into the
It's just like all of it's like the hits
yeah,
plus ASMR.
exactly.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Why do they do
I
that?
am into. You don't get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it.
Yes.
Jared said that Sauvignon Blanc had one stubborn cork. I kind of had a hard time getting that cork out too. Mark said, I feel like you're talking down to us. Sorry. Not on purpose.
Yeah, we'd never do that.
Lisa said, hello, we're looking forward to this great idea. Thank you. This is actually the owner's idea. Oh, we should also probably start. We're just messing around. Sorry.
All right. All right. Well, I'm Lincoln.
And I'm Alyson.
And we're going to eat cheese with balsamic vinegar and wine.
Yeah, we are.
And it's going to be glorious.
It is going to be glorious.
All right. So I always start out with a little bit about the better cheddar. The better cheddar, it has been around since 1983. We're locally owned. We have this store on the plaza, which we are in the basement of. And then we have a store at Prairie Village at Shawnee Mission. No, that's not right.
Mission. 71st,
at 71st and Mission Road in the Prairie Village shops, which is the art fair this weekend there. So check that out. Goes through tomorrow, I guess.
From 11 to 1. You got 2 hours, baby.
Is that all it is?
That is all it is tomorrow.
Oh.
We'll be there till 5, though. So.
Yeah, we'll be there till 5. That's weird. I didn't know that.
11 to 1. We're not. It's great. Anyway.
That doesn't have anything to do with this, but we'll stop. But we're a specialty cheese and food shop. We've got all kinds of stuff like cheese, but also
pasta sauces. We've got cocktail things. We've got stuff for baking. We've got all kinds of tin fish, Asian food products. Cookies, crackers, tea, coffee, pickles, obviously from last class. But yeah, just anything kind of like fun food, things that are kind of hard to find. We've got fun foodie things.
Yeah, and we're gonna try some of those fun foodie things.
Yeah, we are.
So exciting.
Yeah.
All right. And you guys ask questions in the comment, or what is that called? A chat?
Yeah, in the
if
chat.
you got comments or questions, let us know. We'll try to keep up with them as we go. And if there are issues, let us know, because we're doing this whole YouTube thing and it's a little technical for us. So, yeah, just let us know if there's any issues.
Nick said that ASMR is a nightmare for anyone with is it phonia or phobia? But that's like when it's like sounds or.
Oh, like they're scared of them?
Yeah, I think.
Scared of sounds?
Yes.
Yeah.
Christy said cheese. We didn't did we do, I didn't even look at the menu. Did you pair wines with things or did you are we just going for it?
Since what we were pairing was the balsamic vinegars with the cheese, we just wanted a good accompaniment with the cheese and the balsamic.
Okay.
So you can pour both. Basically the way it would go is the white's going to go best with the first 2 or 3 cheeses and then the red on the end. But some of these will go really well with...
We've been surprised many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll go really well with reds too if you're more of a red drinker. So do as you please.
So our Sauvignon Blanc that we have is from the Loire Valley. It's the Lagrange. We've used this maker before. We did a red from them for a class like a year or so ago. But this is it's 100% Sauvignon Blanc from the Loire Valley. It's nice and light and crispy. We thought that this was kind of going to do the same kind of thing, but be very different than the wine that we had for the last class, where it's bright, it's crisp, it's clean. It's got some kind of like maybe honeysuckle or like pear kind of notes to it. But it has a good like salinity. and kind of a not heavy minerally, but
It's got some.
yeah, some
Yeah,
minerality to it,
it's good.
which mm, yeah, it's not just like so citrusy, crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, delightful. And then our red that we have is this Altos de la Hoya. And this is a Monastrell, or you might know it better as Mourvedre is the name of the grape in Spain. It's called Monastrell. So this is just going to be a nice fuller bodied. I like this one because it has, I don't know if funk is quite the right word, but it's got a little bit more kind of like earthy, a little bit maybe like gamey even to it. But in just a really nice way that I think is going to go so well with the balsamics. Um, and again, just a little bit of a fuller flavored red that I think that this is kind of something different than what we've done with red in our previous classes. And I haven't tried it since we opened it, but we tasted this one and we both really liked it.
Well, and the fruit that it does have is kind of goes along with what we're doing,
Yeah,
like figgy or
grapey,
plummy.
figgy. I
Yeah.
know that that's dumb because it's wine, but you know what I mean.
No, it's not dumb.
Yeah, grapey,
You get
plummy,
it.
figgy.
Yeah. So,
It tastes like a balsamic wine to me, you know?
yeah.
But like not in the it's gone off thing. It's good.
Yeah.
Phonia. It is phonia. Oh yeah.
Huh.
I get it. I get it. Mouth sounds. Thank you, Nick. Oh yeah. I guess it's my turn, huh?
Um, we're going for the first cheese.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay. So,
Do you want more than one?
why not? So this first cheese you got on your tasting progression menu there is a triple cream because we always like triple creams. But
Sorry.
we've never done this triple cream for this for one of these. So this is called Saint Andre, and this is a like most triple creams that came about in the late 60s, early 70s. Um, and it's really popular in the States. They eat triple creams in France, but they don't eat, they're not as popular as regular full fat cheeses. But Saint Andre is like a lot of people, this is one of the first triple creams to be imported to America. And this is like a lot of, I don't want to say older people, but like people who remember when they first had a triple cream, you know, in the 70s and 80s. A lot of times it was this, and it's their favorite triple cream.
To old
Uh,
people.
I so old people, yeah. And we don't
Just
carry it
kidding.
very often because it's a little more widely available now, and it's now made by a larger producer, um, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But there are some other triple creams that we like better, which we've had before: Pierre Robert and Briot Severin. We really like a lot. We carry those all the time. But there's nothing wrong with this.
Yeah,
And
we love it.
yeah, exactly. Um, so we,
Why don't we do the first balsamic and then we'll talk about balsamics in general, just so you guys can start snacking. And
yeah,
again, I don't know if we have any new people. You guys can do this however you want. We're going to go through and taste and talk about each one of the balsamics. If you guys have already tasted and gone through everything, perfect. You're not doing it wrong. Live your life.
yes.
So this is going to be fun.
Wha- Oh, nice.
This is the first balsamic.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so you guys should be able to see it, hopefully.
Yeah, if you can't, if you just see me looking like an
We
idiot.
wanted you to be able to see what the bottles look like. This is an expensive tasting because balsamic is not cheap. So you guys got like that's about an ounce is what you got, and you can dip, you can drizzle, you can do whatever you want. But this is Leonardi Condimento Balsamico Rosé, and so this is the only um, uh, balsamic that we're trying that's not I can't say traditional because there's some distinctions there that we'll talk about here in a little bit, but this is not made with Trebbiano or Lambrusco grapes like a traditional balsamic or balsamic condiment would be. It's made with I don't remember, let me see. I wrote it down here. Um, it is made with ensalata. Ensalata? Is that right?
It's
Ensalata
probably
grape.
enchilota.
Enchilota grapes.
Enchilota? I don't know.
And so they basically they make this very similarly to a rosé wine, where they leave the skins on in the fermenting process, and it gives this rosy color. And so in this case, it is um, they cook the grape juice for several hours until it's thick, and then they blend that with um, a wine vinegar to give it a brighter um, flavor, acidity, and then they age it in barrels. I think this goes for how far does this go? A minimum of 8 years in barrels, usually oak barrels. So you can the you have like this a good viscosity like you do with good balsamics, but a little bit more brighter and free than a traditional balsamic.
Yeah. And a little
So
bit more, yeah, kind of it's sweet, I think. I
yeah,
mean, not that balsamic I feel like in and of itself is generally sweet, but this one is definitely on like kind of the sweeter side, but not like cloyingly so.
yeah.
And I do, if you haven't gotten a spoon or pass it around and take some sips to just try the vinegar by itself, just to take a little, if you don't have, metal's not always the best, but you know, it does the trick. Um,
I just dipped a huge piece of cheese in there. I'm gonna eat it.
I
That's
think that you should do it. I'm gonna do that next. Mm, I think I'm going cracker and cheese route.
it's like fruity butter
Ooh, I like fruity
with the
butter.
triple cream. Um, I really like the pairing of this. It's not something you would usually do.
I
Did you like
love
it?
it.
Okay.
Mmm.
I'm sure like if there are any real Italians watching, they're like, "What
Dead.
are you
They're
doing?"
dying. We might as well be breaking spaghetti in half and putting it in a
Exactly.
pot.
Have you ever seen those guys on, I don't know, they're like YouTube or whatever, and it's two Italian guys and they just rip Americans for the way they're making
Oh my
pasta
God. No, but that's
or
hilarious.
pizza or whatever. Um, but we liked the pairing, so we did it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a good idea. Um, Jared said, will the PowerPoint be available after the webinar? Yes,
I don't know.
on the video on our YouTube channel. You'll have to fast forward through us talking.
Sorry.
Um, Christy said, "Oh my God, there's a PowerPoint, y'all." We're trying. Um, Jessica said, "Oh yeah, if you have straws at home, that's a good idea. You can dip your straw in and then put your finger on the back of
Oh,
it and try it like, and then
oh yeah, that's a good
try it
idea.
like that."
You could
Smart.
almost drink this.
Oh
It's
yeah.
that good to me.
Well, that's Heather said this balsamic would be great worked into homemade ice cream or with some seltzer water.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this would be perfect to put in like a cocktail. Like I'm seeing strawberries because it's that time of the year, but yeah, like a basil, strawberry, or mint, something with this,
Yeah.
um, would be delightful. I just also think this one is like perfect for like summer salad dressings and things that are like,
Yeah. If you
we're into that season now.
yeah, make a some kind of a dressing out of it would be
Hmm
really, really nice.
I tried it with a little bit of the fig. You guys got some baked Calabrian figs as well. They're Italian, and obviously figs go beautifully with balsamic. Um, and it's delicious on its own, but it's really nice with the balsamic as well,
Mm.
just on its own.
Triple cream and baked figs, that's really good.
Well, Yeah. Duh. Mm.
You can imagine you could like do seafood with this too, with the
Oh yeah.
balsamic, like a dressing with scallops or
Mm-hmm.
shrimp or whatever.
Mm. Oh yeah. Okay, well, while you guys are snacking on that first one, maybe.
Let's do that DOP. That
There it is.
IDO, yeah, there you
More PowerPoint. Oops, I did it wrong. PowerPoint.
go. Okay, so
If you'll all take a look at your screens.
I thought this was gonna go over so well.
I think it's great. I think they're loving it.
So um, we're gonna be talking a little bit. If you hear the acronym IGP or you hear the acronym DOP, is when as it pertains to the balsamic vinegar. This is what the standards are. Now I used AI to do this, so there's a couple things that it said that I didn't really like, but I went ahead and put them in there, and we can kind of clarify. But specifically, all of the balsamics that we're trying, besides the one we just tried, are going to be IGP or a geographical. What is it in Italian? Can you read that?
Wait, this?
Yeah, around there.
Oh my God.
In
Indicazione geografica por protecta.
Yeah, yeah. So IGP is the European standard for geographical and name protection. That is a lower standard than the DOP that's on the right. Now, we're not trying any DOP balsamics because we just, for the money, we can't do it. Uh, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, um, but IGP we can, and it's still really good balsamic. It's just not the what they would call traditionale or traditional balsamic. And we can talk about some different, the reasons for that. Like about what this says about IGP is quality. It says it's lower. It's not really lower quality. It's just the standard isn't as high for the IGP. And specifically, the IGP can be, uh, well, generally it is, and with the condimentos as well. IGPs, they are mixed. Um, they're made just like the traditional. The grape must is cooked uh, down into a syrup, and then they take that balsamic and age it in a barrel to it, and it gives it more of a brighter flavor than you would have in a traditional balsamic, which is very like uh, it's not as acidic and it's got like a whole lot more going on. If you've ever had traditional balsamic, like if you ever went to Italy and you tried like a 20, 30-year-old traditional balsamic, it's like there's a ton of stuff going on. IGPs are more standardized for a certain flavor, but it is coming from Modena, and uh, it's still really good. So that's base. Those are the IGPs are what we are tasting in this tasting. Was that helpful at all?
Yes, it was,
Okay.
Lincoln.
Okay.
Well, and that's also, I feel like it's one of those things too that like, it's not necessarily that the IGPs aren't doing exactly the same, like very, very similar processes as the others. It's
Yeah.
just kind of one of those, it could be one or two things and it's just not done quite the right way. And so it's,
Yeah.
called
Yeah.
something else. It's not necessarily an actual quality thing, even though there would be people that were like,
Yes.
IG, how
Yeah.
could you? But like
Yeah.
these are all amazing.
Yeah. So that IGP on these bottles, you will always see that blue and yellow IGP label. if you see a bottle with, which you can see those bottles at our store, but they're the 12 to 30-year-old vinegars that we have locked up in the cases. And those will have that seal that is yellow and red. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Christy, I have been waiting my whole life. I just said when I said, "Can you look at your screens?" I was born for those. No.
Yeah.
Jaron said, "I'm definitely living a DOP life on an IGP budget."
Yeah. Me
Christy said,
too.
"Same, Jared."
Yeah. So,
Mark said, "I'm down with DOP." Yeah, you know me.
yeah, that's right.
The more you know. That's what we should. We need to figure out how to put that. Well,
Yeah.
that's probably a copyright thing, huh?
So the DOP
Oh,
is
Nick's into the
denomination of
presentations today.
pro teta. Denomination, I don't know. We'd have to read it again. I always forget. But we're going to bring it back up and tell you.
You're gonna love it.
Yep. Denomination.
De origin pro teta.
Yeah. So it's um, it's basically, these protections are the same thing you see with wines and cheese.
And cheese, yeah.
Like one of the next cheese we're going to try is DOP cheese. So, uh, if that helped, hopefully it did.
It did. Thank you.
Now, it's not that these IGPs are cheap that we're trying. They're actually pretty expensive. So, like, I think for a whole bottle, I think the most expensive bottle here is 60 some bucks that we're trying. The low end is about 20 bucks. So,
Yeah.
still
20 something.
really
yeah.
good and pretty expensive. So, yeah.
And
Okay.
I think the cheapest one is actually my favorite of them. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was. I think
Okay.
it's this one. It's this one. I really like this one. Anyway,
Wait, which one is this?
This is the silver. This is.
Oh, I guess the one at the end is a little bit cheaper, but
Is it? I think they're similar
are
price.
they? Okay, maybe. So, this next cheese, we'll do this next cheese is Pecorino Sardo. Now, we had a Pecorino, a non-traditional Pecorino this last tasting. And this is a traditional Pecorino from Sardinia. This again is protected, DOP protected by the European Union. So it can only be made with Sardinian sheep's milk, and it has to be made on the island of Sardinia. So see what you guys think of this. This is Pecorino Sardo Dolce. So it's young, creamy. Dolce to them just means not piquant, so not spicy or not full flavored. Just easy going. See what you think. Yeah.
It's delicious. Nick said, I love learning while I cheese more presentations. And Marissa said, this is literally the first time I've been more into the accompaniment than the wine. And I still really like the wine.
Nice.
I'm getting into the balsamic too, obviously. Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
How is it?
I really like this one. I didn't realize that this was one of my favorites. I've actually never purchased this one, but I will now.
My mom, talking about my mom.
Carol's never
Carol,
wrong.
yeah,
Carol's never wrong.
She used to buy this a lot.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I like it because you'll see as we try some of the other ones. I like the kind of flavor that it has. Like it's sweet, but it still has a little bit more like
It's tangy.
yeah, acidity to it. But you kind of get that like, figgy, grapey kind of thing. I'll show you what the bottle looks like too. More PowerPoint. Get ready.
It almost. Well, I don't know. It doesn't. It actually goes really well with the cheese, but the cheese is mild.
Oh yeah.
you first. I'm spitting. Sorry.
You're fine. They can't see you.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Do it now.
Um, it overpowers the cheese right off the bat, but then the cheese kind of comes through and it's really really nice.
Mm. Hmm.
Like I can imagine this being on like a salami sandwich with like crusty
Oh
bread
yeah.
with a drizzle of this balsamic and a little bit of olive oil and this cheese. That'd be really good.
Hmm.
So this balsamic is a Frattoria Estense, Silver Seal Aceto. I never know.
Probably
Balsamico
no.
di Modena IGP. So we're gonna get into
Mm.
silver and gold seals here. Sorry.
This one has an S on the lid.
Sorry.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, you're fine. This one has an S on the lid. Your gold, which is the next one, has the G on the lid. And your fourth one has the, it says Villa Mandori on it, which is the fourth, and then the fig is the final one.
Yeah.
So S now, gold next.
So the IGP Balsamico. Sorry, you want to say?
No, no, no.
Yeah. They, the producers, which are generally the producers of the traditional balsamic as well, they came to agreement that they all were going to, this was in 2011, that they were going to standardize between the producers um, a way of knowing how old the vinegar was. And so they came up with a gold, silver, bronze, or I guess it would be bronze, silver, gold way of doing things. Okay. And so in this case, the cap, I don't remember, maybe the cap's not silver, but at
It
least
is.
the tag is it. Okay.
Yeah, or the at least the like the plastic around it is. We'll double check. Oh, yeah, but
Well, the
I think it's
seal
got silver around the top.
around the, yeah, whatever.
I don't know.
So this producer just does like a tag hanging off the side, but it is silver. And so silver is always going to be, so bronze, we're not tasting any bronze.
I don't think we don't
We don't
sell
sell
any
any right
bronze.
now. There's nothing wrong with bronze, but if you go to the grocery store, like you can find an IGP balsamic, and it's generally going to be in that bronze category. Um, and maybe not even that. It only has to be aged for at least 2 years to be an IGP um, balsamic. And so I've never seen a really nice balsamic in a regular grocery store. Now they are from Modena and they're not bad, but they're really they're really liquidy and not very sweet. Um, and really for me, this silver is about as, you know, as low as I want to go.
And I
Because it
really
just
like
gets
it.
really
Yeah,
acidic after
which I
this.
like, but
And it starts to taste more like wine vinegar as opposed to
mhm.
balsamic. But so we don't really mess with bronze, but silver is generally 6 to 12 years, 6 to 10 years aged, and you start to have some thickness here, but not a ton of thickness, and you have some sweetness, but not. It's still pretty acidic, um, and so you'll be able to tell the difference when we get into the gold on the next cheese, and really see the differences.
Well, and I like which we know I love pickles and vinegar and things. So I like this and use it for a lot of things, but I think things like this are really nice if you want to like punch up if you're doing like some olive oil on a plate with like some of this drizzled in and some herbs to dip in bread or to make like a salad dressing with. Just that it's not like, some of the really higher end balsamics, it's like you don't want to make it. I mean, you can if you want to make a salad dressing. That's really living DOP,
Yeah,
the DOP life.
yeah,
But, you kind of want to use them a little bit more sparingly and in more special ways to highlight the vinegar in itself. Whereas I feel like things like this make such nice if you're making it into like a recipe or like on a sandwich or things like that. And like
yeah.
that's like where I think that this there's the place for
Like,
this kind of tier of
yeah.
balsamic.
And like, I don't know if I would put this on ice cream.
Yeah, this isn't a balsamic. We'll get
Yeah.
into more of that, but I was like, this is probably not a.
But like a lot of savory dishes, like you were saying, like I would go
Oh,
for this.
it'd
Yeah.
be delicious.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm coming back to the chat, y'all. Um, ooh, okay. Christy said, "Oh shoot, I wasn't supposed to drink the vinegar. You are supposed to drink it,
Yeah.
Christy. Everything you're doing is perfect. Maybe not all at once. Well, live your life." Um, Jessica, what is this balsamic labeled? Oh yeah, I did that. I did do that. Marissa said, next time I'd like a picture of the specific cow, sheep, or goat that made the cheese incorporated
Okay.
into the PowerPoint. Obviously, we'll do
We
that.
can figure that out.
They send it to us in the boxes when the cheese comes.
Yeah.
That's how it comes. Christy said, yes, Marissa, yes, to the pictures of the animals. Oh, the drinking of the vinegar, I think. Marissa said, I spilled a drop and licked the table and I'm not ashamed, as you should not be.
Nope.
Nick said, that's what I'm noticing on top of the flavor. The body is almost as thick as when I boiled down a reduction of the grocery store stuff. Flavor doesn't compare though. These are fantastic.
Yeah.
Right. Like this is just like that you can't this is better than anything you're gonna get in the grocery store. And we're kind of like
Yeah.
the silver
Yeah.
first loser.
Yeah.
It's just so much better than anything that you're gonna get at the grocery
Well,
store.
and it's not to say that some of those things don't have applications that are in the grocery store. They do.
They do.
Yeah. But just if you're like gonna like be tasting it alone or tasting it with cheese, you really want a higher quality,
Hmm.
in my opinion.
And they last, and that's the other thing. They have such a long shelf life too. It's not like,
Yeah.
they last longer than an olive oil even. They might just
Oh yeah.
reduce a little bit more and get more flavored, but
They have to. I'm pretty sure that they have to have a best by date in Italy, but it's literally like the stuff we have on our shelf is 2035 or 2037, stuff like that. So yeah, it lasts a long time.
um, Lisa said, "Dang it, you guys! The last thing I need was to love all this so much. I have to, I have to have more next time we're in the store." Heather asked when we're gonna get whale's milk cheese. God love ya. Okay, so on to the next cheese. Working on it.
Yeah. Okay. So the next cheese here, yeah, sure. Let's do it. We've done this cheese. I feel like the wine's been an afterthought. I'm
It
glad
really
it's
has.
here,
I
but
know, like it's great, but I'm like,
yeah,
I've kind of sipped on mine, but
yeah.
sorry, y'all.
So
Talk about your wine experience
yeah,
because we're clearly not doing a
yeah.
good job doing that.
So this cheese we've had I think we've done it in one or two other tastings, but we really liked this cheese with this balsamic. So we went for it. But this is called Saint Germain. Saint Germain is
Oh, I
from
love this cheese. I forgot what it was.
Blakesville Creamery.
I picked this one.
Blakesville Creamery in Port Washington, Wisconsin. It's all goat's milk. It's made in a like Pyrenees style tome with a natural rind. The aroma can be a little funky, but it's relatively mild. Oh yeah, thank you. Brought that for a reason.
No,
So
there's a depiction of the goat.
yeah,
You're welcome.
go closer. So,
Yeah, see, we're already.
I should have put a thing on there. Man,
It's okay. It's okay.
so this is like their farm and creamery is like right there on Lake Michigan. Basically, it's several miles away, but if you look at it on a map, it's right there on Lake Michigan. I'm sure the goats are really happy.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah. So see what you guys think of this. We just really like this cheese, and we share it quite a bit because it's one of our favorites. But see what you guys think. The balsamic
Is pause.
that we're tasting it with. No, what am I doing? Oops.
Ayo.
Okay. So Leonardi Gold Seal, Aceto Balsamico di Modena,
I'm fine.
IGP.
I do.
Anybody know how to say aceto? Aceto? So you guys probably know what that means by now, but it means vinegar.
Yeah.
So that's um, the Italian word for vinegar. You're gonna look it up
Heck yeah,
so I don't embarrass myself every time I say it.
yeah.
So this is a gold seal. Leonardi is like it's pretty much our favorite producer of balsamic vinegars. Our aged, super aged, um, our super aged uh, balsamics that we have in the store. They're Leonardi is the producer. They're different because it's a producer that isn't it's estate grown grapes. So all their Trebbiano and Lambrusco grapes are grown on their estate. There's not that many producers that do that. And this is again gold. The way they show that in this bottle, you can see the gold seal on top, but then there are gold coins on the label. And I think how many gold coins are there?
5.
5. So this is um, 12 to 15 years. It depends. They're blending to get a profile, but each uh, seal or each coin is like 2 to 3 years. So whatever that adds up to be. Um, and so this is the thickest, sweetest in the IGP um, balsamics. And so you'll see the viscosity and the sweetness when you taste it. But see what you guys think.
It is a Chetto.
Aceto. I knew that.
I had my
Totally.
little French guy that's on YouTube that
Nice.
he tells me how to pronounce things. Yeah, this is just, it's so, even getting this out of the bottle, it's so much thicker than a silver.
Yeah.
But I love this cheese. It's so funny trying this with all of the balsamics. Normally to me this is a little bit like sour, like or tangy. Um, and it just doesn't seem like that at all now that we've tried all of this kind of tangy, sour stuff. And this is also one that like it almost to me is like it's vegetal like broccoli cheddar soup
Mm-hmm.
almost. And so I just thought I'm like, oh my God, think about roasted broccoli with like
Drizzled on there. That'd be
drizzled
really
with
good.
like balsamic. And
Yeah.
so that was why I was like, oh my God, this pairing is gonna be delightful. But yeah, you can just see how it just stays on the cheese. It's just ugh. And it's pretty delicious.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about it.
Yeah. Um,
Mm.
so this is what if I balls, if I buy balsamic vinegar, that was
It's
weird.
whatever you want, Lincoln.
If I buy balsamic vinegar for home, I generally get this. I
Hmm.
splurge on this because I just really, really like it. Um,
This is the one I gift.
yeah. And we're looking at like, as far as in our stores, you're looking at what,
I think they're 32.99 right now.
32.99. And I like this is getting to the point, it's still acidic, but it's getting to the point where I would do this on fruit um, and um, possibly ice cream.
Hmm.
Yeah. Um, a sweet thing kind of tames the acidity and just brings out more fruit. So, I don't know.
Cheese, fig, cracker, red wine.
Glorious.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Um, Christy said Allison already delivering on requests, rocking it out not even 5 minutes later, and providing animal photos. There's a sheep on this packer right now too. I just was, since we can
Oh, yeah. And
a depiction of.
you guys probably can't see it, but at the top of this cheese, you can see the PDO. Yeah, it'd be hard to see.
Oh, there. Hold on. Yeah,
But
tip it up a little bit. There you go. There you go. That little orange
at the top there,
circle.
yeah, that's a PDO seal there. So that's how you know it's real.
um, wait, did Allison say vegetal before Lincoln? Is this like a bingo card that y'all have at home?
It's a drinking game.
Yeah, and I was like, is this a, that's hilarious. Seriously, I'm digging the cheese funk. I know I love this cheese. Nick said, while the gold is thicker and sweeter, it's got more of that grape skin tannin too. How is it sweeter and more tannic? Magic?
So it spends longer in those in years, and so it's definitely, getting those um, the same way wine would get more tannins from a barrel, you know. So
Barrel magic.
yeah.
Well, also to try with this or whenever. So this is the kind of jammy thing that you got. It is balsamic caramelized onion. Balsamic. So we wanted you to have this too. Um, but this is from Eat This. It's the same people that do the, and I know we've done it for a class before, the bacon marmalade that has orange and caramelized onions in it as well. That's amazing. We this is something that I found at the fancy food show last summer. Um, but they have a whole line of different jams and things that we just started carrying a few months, probably right before the holidays. And this was one that I got to try at the food show, and I was like, oh shoot, well, this is a nightmare. Um, and this is just made pretty simply. They're just so full flavored. They're delicious. And we really like their stuff. So the Eat This stuff is in the store too. Um, but yeah, eat this with cheese on your crackers, with your wine, all of the things. This would just be so good on a roasted veggie sandwich with the Saint Germain. Okay. Heather said the toe jam funk of the vegetal cheese goes nicely with the fresh, crisp apple slices.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think
Whenever they have fresh fruit,
I know
I always like, why didn't I bring? I had an apple at
because you
home.
hate us.
Apparently, just never
No, it's
do it.
fine. I know. Next, tasting a bingo card with purchase. Oh my God.
That would be hilarious.
It would be hilarious for us to make our own bingo card, like to be like every time Allison does, for ourselves.
Yeah, we can laugh at ourselves. It'll be great.
We can.
Yeah.
Heather, Honeycrisp apples are a must for any kit for us. It's always worth playing with, no matter the cheese or pairing. Yeah, I mean
Just
apples.
those.
Yeah, apples
Yeah.
just go with an apple and cheese is all you need for a delicious snack.
Yeah.
I don't know that I want a whole nother one of these, but
But
I
you
really want to
can.
try it with the yeah, with the.
It
It's
was
not
real.
a jam. I don't know what they call
It
this.
was really good. I think they just call it balsamic
Caramelized onions.
caramelized onions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys try any of like the silver, like right next to the gold? Now, these are different
Oh yeah,
producers, so
that's smart.
I mean it's definitely be different, but they're I almost think that the acidity on the gold is almost stands up to the acidity on here. It's just slightly sweeter to me.
Yeah, and I like the silver
It's very
better.
different. You like
I
silver better?
do. The flavor. I mean, I like a thicker balsamic, so obviously I like the thickness, but the silver to me is still.
I see. I think I like the gold. It has like a slight
Mm,
bitterness that I like. I don't think the
yeah.
silver has that, but in any case, they're both good.
Listen, I like my tequila silver too. So let's.
Yes,
Okay. Christy said, next tasting bingo card with purchase. um, wait, I think I missed something. Nope, nope. Have the balsamic onions would be great on a burger. Yes, they would.
yes.
And Marissa said, I volunteer myself to design the bingo card. I accept payment in balsamic. And she likes the silver better too.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I like it better. Nummies.
Okay. Should we go on?
Onward and upward,
Okay.
I suppose. Ugh, the most classic pairing. This is the one, I mean, aside from the one that I picked, this is the one that I've been looking the most forward to.
Okay. So the cheese is Crevero Parmigiano Reggiano. Again, we've had this before in the tasting, but Crevero has been aging cheese since 1855. What they what makes it different than other Parmigiano Reggianos is that, and Parmigiano Reggiano can kind of run the gamut. It's all, if it's made in Emilia Romagna and um, has the PDO seal of the European Union, it is Parmigiano Reggiano. But there's 300 producers, and some of them like go above and beyond what they
Mm.
have to make it Parmigiano Reggiano. So Crevero is one of those people. They buy only uh, from one producer, and there's only 10 or 12 that do this, but it's all mountain pasture raised um, cows. And so uh, they're always getting the good grass, and um, you know, they're they're producing better milk than some of the other Parmigiano Reggiano cows.
Yeah.
And so that's what the Corvera family does. They buy those cheeses and then they age them themselves. They just got like a big vault that goes 20 feet high of Parmigiano Reggiano and rows and rows and rows. And it's one of our favorites. And so if you were in Italy, you might eat Parmigiano Reggiano with balsamic. So we're going to do it.
When in
And
Rome, am I right?
exactly. Um, and so this balsamic is um, Villa Mandori. Do you want to
Oh
say
yeah.
something?
Picture, picture. There's your Villa Mandori.
Okay. So this is a little bit different than the others. This is actually the most expensive one you're trying. Like I said, about 60, 65
Hmm.
bucks, something like that, a bottle. Um, but that looks like um, a bronze
Top.
top, but that top has nothing to do with this producer.
It's just the
Now,
packaging.
this producer is not a producer. This is more of a balsamic made by a chef, basically. So his name is Massimo Butera, I think his name is.
He's on chef's table.
Is he? Is that his chef
Hmm.
table? Okay, so he's like got Michelin star
Oh
for
yeah.
his restaurant. I forget what it's called, but it's in Modena. He was born and raised there, and so this is him making an IGP vinegar and blending himself and figuring out exactly what he likes. Uh, and we have people who swear by this stuff, like they'll just come buy bottles and bottles
Yeah. It's
because they
really
love
good.
it. But it'll be an interesting thing. This is on the par of a gold balsamico, but anywhere from like 12 to 15 years old. Um, See what you guys think. But it goes really nice with this Parmigiano Reggiano.
Osteria Francescana.
That's the name of his.
Yes.
Yeah,
In Modena. Modena. Modena? Modena.
I say Modena, but it's probably
I
wrong.
think it's Modena, but it's okay.
Yeah.
El Gato Verde. That's the one that I thought that I heard of. I like that name. That's also in Modena. But yeah, he's on the chef's table episode. Um, but yeah, this gold. Yeah, so um Heather said the gold is just too demanding. The silver plays in more spaces.
Mm.
Becky and I had and then Nick said Becky and I had a harder time with the first gold. It was a little bitter. This second gold is great though. That's delicious. Yeah, that's what
It
you can
is.
like.
This is sweeter.
Yeah, I see, and this is probably a close second for me. Well, I don't know. Do I like this one better than the silver? I think I might today. I feel like when I was trying them was when I was putting kits together at like 9 o'clock in the morning. So I don't know, but I really like this one.
I think I like this better than the gold too, but I
Oh
still
yeah.
like the gold better than the silver. You guys can't convince
Well,
me.
but if you like the bit, you know what I mean? If you're more into the bitter thing,
Yeah,
just kidding.
I feel like this is a little more fruit forward and almost
Yeah.
caramelized or something.
This is for sure like would put on ice cream,
Mm,
summer tomatoes, like mm,
yeah.
like this and one other thing and like nothing else. It's so good with the Parmesan.
Yeah, the Parmesan is really full flavored, but like it just it kind of tames it,
Oh my God, they're so
but
good.
it melds together into something pretty nice.
Oh yeah. Well, and this Parmesan too, when people come in, I'm always like, if you're gonna do a board, like, I mean, you can obviously grate this over pasta and your sauces and all of the things. Um, I think if you were doing more of like a plain sauce or like a carbonara or something would maybe be you would want to use more of a parm like this. But if you're making a thick tomato sauce, like our regular Parmesan that we have will definitely do what you need it to do. But for a board, I just feel like the Crevero does just have more flavor and it's not quite as like salty as the regular
Yeah,
Parmesan is, you know?
it doesn't depend on the salt like
Yeah.
some Parmesan Reggianos can.
Hmm.
Um, it goes really nice with the red.
Oh yeah. Hmm. Well, it's also like who needs to make boards so complicated? Get a chunk of nice Parmesan,
Yeah,
some balsamic, and a bottle of wine.
yeah,
Loaf of bread. Call it a day.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Um, Ryan said this is delicious. Heather said the chef vinegar is savory enough to think about drizzling on an arugula, prosciutto, and fig pizza.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Yes.
I think most of
I
these would
just
be
hit
good
this.
on a
Yes.
lot, like most things.
Yeah.
Like I said, I usually get the gold Leonardi, and I'll do a lot. I'll just do everything with it.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I'll make a salad
I
dressing.
do
I know
too.
it's expensive to make a salad dressing with, but I'll do it, and it's worth it.
DOP living over here.
That's
Just kidding.
right. IGP living.
IGP. On an IGP budget. No. Um, Christy said this cheese fig prosciutto is heaven. Yes. Also correct. Well, yeah, that would be the other thing that you would need is prosciutto, and
Yeah,
then you have a board.
yeah.
Heather said, try the currant vinegar with the second cheese. Ooh.
Okay.
Well, I got a
Second cheese.
bite together already. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
good.
Okay, pause.
Yeah, it adds like just enough, a little more sweetness than the silver. It's nice.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's delightful. Bless you, Heather, doing the Lord's work. Hydrate.
The parm with the onions is really, really good. With a little bit of balsamic on top of
You put balsamic on the balsamic onions?
that. Don't tell anyone,
Jesus.
but I did it.
Holy cannoli. I'll do it too. I'm living on the edge. Does vinegar have a salt content?
I don't think they add salt.
Okay.
Well, I know they don't add salt,
Yeah.
but acidity can
Uh,
mess with the idea of salt.
yeah.
So I don't know if that,
I'm just always worried I'm gonna have high blood pressure because I like pickles and salty things.
well,
That's curious. Asking for a friend.
pickles definitely have salt.
Yeah, I'm aware. So
Okay.
does all of the cheese we're
Yes,
eating.
yes,
So I'm just trying to, figure out the safe spaces.
yes.
Yes, the Parmesan with the onions with more balsamic. Oh my God, that was delicious. Are you doing it on a fig?
So I stuffed a piece of parm inside a fig
I'm doing it
and
too.
put some balsamic.
I'm gonna put onions on it though too, because that was amazing. That might be my
Oh,
favorite
that's
bite.
good too. Man.
I know. Oh God, this is not gonna be cute. Hold on. Watch this. Suckers.
Oh man. Eat that and then taste some red wine.
Mm.
Do it now. Do it now.
Mm.
No. I think that's my favorite bite so
Mm. Yeah, I think that's my favorite bite too. Uh-oh. And I always like the first pairing.
far.
And I picked the third one. I
Yeah.
mean, I guess we picked all of them, but
Yes.
I was the most excited about the third one.
Yeah. If you guys have some figs left, try that.
Oh,
Parm, Villa Mandori, fig, and red wine.
heaven. Delightful. All right, let's get this show on the road here.
So,
I don't know if I can reach. Why is this so far away?
that's your balsamic.
Is it?
Okay.
I just need the one. Thank you.
Okay. Sorry we did blue cheese for you non-blue cheese lovers.
They're all open to blue cheese.
So,
I don't know.
excuse me. No, I got hiccups.
Uh-oh. Do you need to go drink upside down off
I
camera?
think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So this is Gorgonzola Natural or Gorgonzola
Gorgonzola.
Gorgonzola. Uh, sorry, Picante is another name for it, or sometimes mountain Gorgonzola. But this is the traditional Gorgonzola. There are a couple of Gorgonzola that we generally don't carry, but maybe one of these days we'll get some and you guys can taste it. But and then there's one called Crema or Creme. I don't know. But it's like this they use like 10 days, so you probably won't see it um, in our cases. But it's like you like scoop it out with a spoon.
Oh.
It's like spoonable gorgonzola, and a lot of times they'll have these like little um, ice cream cones.
That's what I was just gonna say, like an ice cream.
Yeah, and you
Oh,
put
that's
some
cute.
gorgonzola on top. But yeah, that's a thing. You just don't see it very often.
Yeah.
Might have to go to Italy for that. But so gorgonzola picante, this is like spicy gorgonzola, spicy in the sense of it's
Piquant.
piquant, yeah. And so we took the fine drop fig balsamic.
She coming. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. And this is condimento. It's condimento to them. Like sometimes you'll see it dressing, and a lot of times condimento just means um, uh, it's blended with something else. So this is balsamic, IGP balsamic with fig, and this is like not thick balsamic. They're adding fig extract, and so they're not. It's more about the fig than anything else to me. And like you can smell the fig.
But I like this. But I like
This is like a little bit sweeter than it's a little bit sweeter, but
Hmm.
it's still, fig flavor.
It's figgy. I'm getting a little cherry right now.
Yeah. Um, and we thought the gorgonzola and balsamic is like a traditional thing, just like the Parmigiano Reggiano. Like you would just eat gorgonzola with a little bit of balsamic on it. But we thought this went figs. Figs. If I think of like figs, like a salad with like figs,
Hmm.
dried figs, and like walnuts and gorgonzola on top, that just sounds good. So that's kind of where we were going with this. But see what you guys think.
Nick said, Allison, this gorgonzola is giving us Roaring Forties vibes. R.I.P. We still have some Roaring Forties.
Tiny bit.
Is there any over at the other store now?
Mhm.
It's just here at the plaza. I wish I had been here when you picked up your kit.
Sorry.
But you maybe have a gift card or something you're gonna pick up. But we have some here. Again, not a whole
Is
lot.
that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Um, but yeah, for people who maybe know or don't know, Roaring Forties is a wonderful blue cheese. It's from Australia, and they are done making
Well,
making cheese.
they did get bought out by a local businessman, but so they were going to shut it down. The big company that owned them were going to shut it down. They got bought out
Ooh.
by a local guy,
Okay.
but as far as we know yet, they don't have plans to export because it's gonna be a smaller operation now. So they may still, but as far as we know, they're not sure if they're gonna do that. So we may not see it.
Lame.
Yeah,
Jared says this cheese packs a wallop.
it does.
She do.
Well,
No,
the balsamic kind of tames it to me.
yeah, I was gonna say because y'all know blue's not my favorite, but I was covering it in balsamic onions and regular balsamic, and
It's
I'm
really
like,
good
ooh,
with the
now I
onions.
love it.
Yeah.
Mmm.
What is it?
Yep, I like it with the onions and the balsamic on it. Mark said I cut too big of a slice of cheese. I'm gonna need the wine to get me through it. I get it. I get it.
If you have gorgonzola left over, make yourself a salad tomorrow. You could just mix all your leftover balsamic vinegars with some olive oil.
Yeah,
That would be the best salad ever. I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like you used to do with sodas at the,
Yeah. It's a what do
skating
they
rink.
call it?
I don't know. I don't think we're allowed.
Suicide.
Oh yeah. Well,
Sorry.
I
If
was
you're
like, I
allowed to
don't
say
think they
that,
were
you
supposed
can't
to
say
say.
that anymore. Sorry.
I was gonna leave it at that, but sorry. um, the gorg and the neutralize the cheese. What's with that? Water
I don't.
content? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it's just. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever had strawberries with blue cheese, so I'm gonna have to try it now
Yeah,
and see what the deal is.
a wallop equals a personality that's too big for the room? Question mark. Wait, a wallop? Did you say wallop?
I don't think so.
Did I say wallop?
I think you or somebody said it in the. Well,
My short-term memory, I'm like, I don't remember anything. Sorry, Christy. This has been one of our favorite kits. We'll be in for at least one of those bottles soon. Good.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I know we kind of took our time with this, with the PowerPoints and things, but tell us your favorites. What'd you love? What'd you hate? Be nice. We had a hard day, emotionally, and so
Just
yeah,
direct your ire towards me.
yeah.
She can,
Tell Lincoln what he did wrong.
yeah.
Just kidding.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think my favorite was the Parmesan, fig, onions, and balsamic.
I think that was really good.
Which seems like overkill, but boy, was it the best kind.
Yeah, that was good.
Oh, Yeah.
Although I think if I had to, like, I would pick that as my first, but I might go to the triple cream with the rosé condimento.
I still
It's
really
really
like
good.
that one too.
Yeah. No. But I like the pecorino a lot too with that. I don't know. I like
I
them all.
know, I know, I know. Well, it's just fun to try all of the balsamics together too, because
Yeah.
like I've had most of them, but like we don't. It's not like if I buy one bottle, that bottle's lasting me for several months. I'm not trying them back to back next to each other.
Um,
Like the gold, like we always buy the gold, or I always buy the gold, and I'm like, dang, I should have been this the
maybe you
silver that
might
I
go to the
like better.
silver.
There's a little bit, a little costs a little bit less, and I'm like, oh, and I actually like it a little bit better. I just
Yeah.
didn't know.
One of the cool things about, we didn't really talk about this, but one of the cool things about balsamic vinegar, what makes it so unique, is generally if somebody makes, wine vinegar, they make it, they really control the humidity and the temperature as it ages. Well, in the case of balsamic, they actually load them into their barrels. They call them batteries, um, but they put them in attics instead of basements or caves. Put them in attics, and then throughout the years, as the basement heats up, cools down throughout the seasons, and it's more humidity sometimes and less humidity sometimes. That's what gives it its balsamic nature.
Interesting.
And so all of these fluctuations go into the flavor. And that's not the case with other fermented foods, even regular vinegar and, cheese. Cheese has to be real specific.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're in an attic and they want, you know, fluctuations in temperature and humidity. So it's pretty cool.
Huh.
Yeah.
Um, Lisa said, love this tasting. Great job, you guys. Ryan said, incredible cheese tasting. Thank you. Jessica said, personally, the balsamic in the kit totally overwhelmed both wines. If I were
Yeah.
to do it again, I would have just a cheap wine with tonight, as the balsamics are the stars tonight.
I think that's
Well, yeah, we
that's
could do
actually
something
good.
different. I don't know if we need to do both, because then you could do, yeah, maybe a few more balsamics or some, we could crack open one of those $130 bottles of
Yeah.
balsamic that we have.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, yeah, that's
but
fair.
yeah, focus a
We
little less on the wine.
yeah. We know some of you guys really like wine. So yeah, that's a that's a hard one to
We
skirt the
know some
line.
of you guys are
Uh,
drinkers,
no,
so
I
we didn't
didn't say
want.
that. But we might. I mean, that's good.
Yeah, feedback.
Yeah, that's good feedback for sure.
Sean said this is really fantastic. You guys, thanks for putting this together. I'm with Nick. We'll be in for some bottles soon. Yay. We're probably going team silver. Nick said we're probably going team silver, but the Villa Mindori gold was pretty great too.
Yeah,
Same page. And the rosé and the thick.
we're
Marissa said first two pairings were my favorites. Loved the onions. Heather said we're undecided about the favorite tonight. We enjoyed the mix of flavors overall.
yeah.
That's one thing I will say. Like I kind of was worried about getting overwhelmed with all of the balsamic, but it really was like not too much. I felt like
Yeah,
even with the balsamic onions, I was like, "Are we going? Is
we're
this
doing it.
too far?"
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt like it was a lot of nice, different flavors.
Be on the
Um,
lookout. We're thinking about bringing in a, a couple bottles of 100-year-old balsamic vinegar.
we almost did before the holidays.
Yeah, we think we might bring in a couple for the holidays. So if you got, you know, $1,200 to lay down.
Listen, come on in. Um, we are, oh no, that was that one. Jessica said, I really enjoyed the tasting. So many different balsamics. Wouldn't have probably tried those otherwise. Um, wait. And really happy I did. Good, Jessica. Um, Jared said, some of us really like wine. That's what I said. Well, Lisa, we enjoyed both of the bottles of wine. Oh, good. Heather said the mad scientist in us loved mixing and matching. It's nice.
Yeah.
Um, oh, Marissa said we love the wines with the pairing so much. Jessica said the triple cream was my favorite cheese tonight. Any chance we could do one tasting where it's all soft cheeses? Yes, and we have.
We need to.
do it if we're gonna
revisit
do
that
it. Yeah, yeah,
again.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think we've only done it once.
Once, and it
Yeah,
was probably at least 2 years ago, maybe
yeah. We
three.
need to bring that back. There's so
Um,
many soft cheeses out there. We could do a whole new
oh
thing.
yeah.
It'd be great.
Nick said, I think the vinegars were always very different. We didn't feel like they overlapped at all, right? I know, which is
We
Heather.
tried.
Heather said more wine. Um, sorry, I was like we said, some of our people like. Jared said, yeah, the variety among the balsamics was outstanding. Um, and then, oh yeah, Jessica said, let us know so we can fast for a day first, but we're totally up for triple cream night.
Wow, that would be interesting.
I love it.
I don't. That might be. Yeah. It might be.
Oh yeah, Christy said that's when we had the quark. Still love that cheese. That quark was in
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Because we've done quark
A couple times.
I got one
Yeah.
time. Just
Yeah.
because we're like, should we just do quark though? Because
Yeah.
it's gonna be delicious with everything.
Yeah.
You can tell it's one of our favorites.
Um,
It's hard to not do that cheese.
can you imagine a whole tasting with triple creams though? It'd be too much, don't you think?
We just had 17 balsamic.
I don't know. If we could
No.
guarantee that it would be like, we'd have to like taste them all, like side by side before we like said. Because
Well,
I
yeah,
wouldn't want to. It could just be like
because some of them
they're
like
very similar.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have the Briat Savrin and the Pierre Robert, and they're nice because when we get them in, oftentimes they're at different kind of parts of their
Yeah.
lifespan.
Ripes.
Yeah,
Ripes. I just said
ripenesses.
ripes.
They're in
So
different
sorry.
ripes of their life. Which listen,
Ripes.
everybody is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of nice to get them, but like they really are like when they're at the same kind of ripeness, they're very
Yeah,
they're
it would be very
they're
similar.
pretty similar.
Yeah.
Like the Delice is a little bit more kind of salty and a
A
little
little
bit
cheesier.
yeah, but
Yeah.
a couple of them they can kind of be similar.
But we might be able to do like the soft cheese, tasting with 2 or 3 triple creams,
Oh yeah,
and then a couple other ones. I don't know.
yeah,
We'll see.
we love it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Christy, they were selling cork at the Shiny Hy-Vee for a while and then stopped. They were? Well, we still have it here.
Yeah.
Just so you know, pretty much always. What they did stop selling was the honey cork. So everybody go to their page. I'm just kidding. I loved the honey cork. Sean said this has been one of my favorite blue cheeses for years. I loved it with the balsamic onions. I liked
Nice.
it too.
Yeah.
Um, Heather said a dedicated triple cream cheese tasting is giving me the preemptive cheese sweats. Yes. Christy said triple cream all day. It's a Saturday. I have Sunday to recover from a dairy coma.
Yeah.
Aerosol cheese. Aerosol cheeses all day is what Heather said.
Nice.
Oh my God. That would be hilarious. That would
Is
be
there,
a funny
is there
April
more than
Fool's
one?
thing.
I don't know.
You haven't lived if you don't know there's more than one aerosol cheese out there in the world.
I don't think Europe has caught on to the aerosol cheese yet.
They've got to.
You think? It's probably way better than
Google it.
ours
I'm
if they
just
have.
kidding. Okay, guys, we love you so much. No, we don't have a date for next month. No, we don't have a theme for next month. Soft cheeses. We'll figure it
Gotta do
out.
soft cheeses. Yeah.
But yeah, we're glad we actually got our May class in May.
Yeah.
Hopefully our June class will also really be in June.
It will be.
Thank you for being patient with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get dates and things figured out because we know going into summer you guys are busy with family stuff and traveling. So we'll get that on a calendar so you guys can start planning on it.
Yeah.
Jessica said, are you guys planning on ever bringing back in-person class? Probably not going to do them here at the store. We have a couple things that we need to maybe look into. They would be kind out of our Prairie Village location. That being said, like it would be like at the space by Dolce, which is just across the street. And then we would have someone come in and do wine and make that way and have Dolce baked goods and cheese wine shop there. But
if we end up doing, or
we'll have a shop night for
we
you
have,
guys.
like a discount or whatever going, but we got to figure that out. I don't know. Nervous about having them in store because we got a little bit of pushback about our restrooms being in the basement, and because that's not ADA compliant, and it's technically a private event, but like it's skirting the line between legality. here at
And
this store.
and for
So
like yeah, for
yeah,
like a regular thing, like we said, we might still do our like shop night with y'all, our Better Cheddar After Dark for our like regulars and loyals and
yeah,
people that do the class. You guys will get an email. But yeah, it's for us, it just makes so much more sense. And you know, you guys have preferred when we were thinking we were going to go back to full time in person. Everybody wanted, the majority of people wanted to keep them online just because it's so convenient. It's easy. You can do it at home. If you
yeah,
miss it, you're not missing out on anything because you can do it at your leisure. And just we can have so many more people um, do it. Whereas in store, you know, we really only had what, like 15, 20
at the most
seats,
20.
20 at most
Yeah,
seats for people. And, you know, with you guys here, there may be, you know, a lot of people, you know, you guys group up and have 4 or 5 people with one kit, you
yeah,
know, which that would be, you know, half our group there. So
yeah. But yeah,
anyway,
we're trying to figure something out. It'll be fun, whatever we do.
but
But
yes, Jessica, we're trying to
yeah,
do something, and so we'll post it in all the usual places if we get an in-person thing going. But also, you know, we're a very
there's not
small
very many
crew,
of us. Yeah,
and we're doing everything. So
yeah,
we're it's kind of at the bottom of the list, but it is on the list. Um, Marissa said, we'll be sure to come in a week early and spend $1 million. Bless you.
thank you.
Nick said, don't get sued. We'll meet up anywhere.
Okay,
The back alley. No, okay.
yeah,
Okay,
true.
guys. Appreciate you
Yeah,
guys.
we
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. We're like late night tonight.
Yeah, went kind of long there.
Sorry, y'all.
Sorry about the
Dang
yeah, the
PowerPoints.
PowerPoints. Yeah. Okay.
Love you. Thanks for
Yeah.
being here.
Thanks.
Let us know if you have any questions. Post pictures on your Instagram. Tag us.
Yeah.
I will remember to look at it and retag it on our Instagram and not forget about it. I've been forgetting about it. Sorry.
Yeah. We won't.
Okay.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah.
See
So
you
I
guys.
do this now, don't I?
Well, stop.
Okay, wait.
See you
Okay,
guys.
bye.